Led by Trustee Burke.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Village Board meeting of March 25th. Just a reminder, if there is an emergency, we exit out the rear of the building. Please go to your vehicles. Please do not leave until so directed by emergency service personnel. If there is an emergency, exit to the rear and front of the building. The doors to your left. Also, this is a non-smoking building, so therefore, if you must, please make you have it outside. Village Clerk.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Just one board meeting minutes of March 11th approval needed, please.
Motion to accept as presented. Motion. Second. Second. Any additions, deletions? All in favor? Aye. So carried. Are you doing once?
I'm going to be doing this with treasurer, correct? Okay, the bills for the period total $471,175.88. Top 5 bills: New York State Employee Health, $108,643.35 for the monthly premium. Village Skidmore, $61,864.42 for the NYMER quarterly premium. H2M, $25,944.57 for sewer engineering. Global, $13,206.90 for diesel fuel. And Russell Reed, $9,766.70 for sludge removal, for a total of $219,425.94. Please.
Motion to accept as presented.
Motion.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
Thank you.
Okay. First, I would like to have a motion to hold a public hearing on the budget at 5 o'clock on April 8th, which will be 1 hour prior to the village board meeting of that same evening. A motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So carried. And there, right after that, the public hearing on that, we will do the reorganization meeting, the reorg meeting. Again, a motion to hold the reorganization meeting where we set the committees and so forth and the boards again on April 8th to follow the budget and prior to the village board meeting. Motion. Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. So carried. The resolution approving the settlement tax certiorari proceedings recommended by Assessor Carol Swing on the attached the list that you have. Form of motion. Motion to accept as presented. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So carried. I request approval to go out for request for proposals for a concessionaire to operate the crab and clam shack at the Mascot Dock. That is a village property. It is a 5-year lease on that.
Correct.
And that lease was purchased by Lombardi's, which is now up and up for, yeah.
They had a balance of the term.
Right.
The original concessionaire.
Oh.
So a motion to go for proposals.
Motion.
Second. What is it, to be returned by?
I believe the notice, we're going to possibly have it awarded at the April 22nd.
Correct. Correct. It was returned by the April 8th. The proposal is to have it returned by April 18th.
Okay, with a return date of April 18th. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
This is going to be advertised in the advance?
Thursday.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Gail? What? Trustees, one of the things I'm going to start to do is, we go to trustees. Jack, we'll start with deputy mayor, and then we'll go to trustee Keys. Jack, you got a question, please?
Just briefly tonight, Mayor. Just like to once again congratulate the Patchogue Theater. I know I do this every meeting, but there are 2 recent shows there. Roseanne Cash, who had a great crowd, great show. In fact, she called the theater the next day and thanked them for giving her the opportunity to play at the theater, and she wants to come back next year to when she releases her next CD and have a CD party at the CD release party at the theater. So thanks to Roseanne and her people for putting on a good show. Great crowd that night.
Is that a theater show?
That was a theater show, yeah. That was booked by the
All
theater.
profits go to the theater on that.
All profits go to the theater. And this past weekend, for all the old folkies like me and Joe Keys, we had the Folk Festival featuring the Kingston Trio. And I'll tell you, Joe, you were there.
Yeah, very good show. Even the afternoon in the lobby,
Yeah.
the groups that performed in the lobby, I caught quite a few of those acts too, and it was a really good day.
Yeah, Joe and I were there in the afternoon. They had a full house. In the afternoon, it was a great show, another great show. I tell you, everybody who left or sitting in their seats on Saturday night were tapping their feet to some classic folk songs from an era gone by. So congratulations to the theater for doing that. Another great show at the theater. Another couple good nights. Chris Capabianco is the one who put together the Folk Festival, and Chris worked his heart out all day. He was there all day at the theater and all night. So thanks to Chris and the people at the theater for doing that. It was a good couple nights there. I would like to request approval to go out to bid for the purchase of 2 vehicles for this public safety department. This is going to be paid out of surplus. And I know Joe Keys from Highway has been talking about the disrepair of the public safety cars. Joe, you had mentioned that they were coming in for a lot of repairs.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are running, 24/7, so they take its toll. We have to spend a lot of time working on public safety cars.
Yeah, we're putting a lot of miles on those cars recently, and just want to make sure the guys are safe. And it's costing us a lot of money to bring those into the shop every few weeks to get maintained and new parts. And so some of these cars, we're creating new cars out of parts.
Over the years, we primarily purchased used vehicles.
Yeah.
With 80, 90, 100,000
Yeah.
miles on the last 2 vehicles we bought. One had 68,000, the other had 92,000. So
What type of vehicles are we looking to buy?
probably someone like, the Liberty that I have, that they have the Compass and a Patriot, something that size.
Small.
A small 4-wheel drive vehicle.
So it won't be like a sedan you're talking
No.
about?
Right.
About,
Something a little more durable, something that we get the bad weather that we have.
are you looking to buy something new or
Yeah.
brand new?
Yeah.
So like a forward motion on that?
Second,
So,
all in favor?
Okay.
So carried.
Thank you. Also, I would like to, I think we have a resignation or something.
We had it already last
Oh, you
time.
got that last time, okay. Request approval to hire Gerard Abate as a public safety officer at $16 per hour. Forward motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? So carried.
That's all I had, Mr. Mayor.
One other thing I should have mentioned there at the very beginning was a great job done by the Recreation Department with the parade. The amount of time and effort. There was, if you were at the parade and saw the numbers of people that were there, it really was a great day. And you go down the street, and when you see people 5 and 6 deep, all the way up and down the street, it really, really went well. And that brings back the value of what public safety does. It's the ability to do that and have Suffolk County PD have their officers available on the street, not blocking streets. So, well done by Maria Hendrickson and her staff and Luann and so forth. So, Trustee Keys.
Mr. Mayor, very brief tonight. I do have a couple of things on my wish list, but first I'd like to welcome you back. Very speedy recovery.
Thank you.
Surgery. Needless to say, it's good to have you. Try that again. Needless to say, it's good to have you. Okay. I also, last Thursday, the town of Brookhaven recognized Marion Russo, executive director of our CDA. Her role in government is a women's, all women's roles throughout the town, and she was recognized for her role in government. We're kind of spoiled by what Marion does around here. We take a lot of things for granted, so it's good to see somebody well-deserved and recognized townwide. Tonight, Mr. Mayor, I'm requesting approval to hire Residential Fences Corporation to install new mesh and bottom rail on an existing perimeter fence at Shorefront Park Ball Field at a cost not to exceed $22.80. I think you guys all have the invoices in your packet. This is actually repair some damage to Shorefront Ball Field fence. And that's a motion.
Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Request approval to hire Residential Fences Corp. to install a new 4-foot-high black chain link fence in the municipal lot at Ryder and Smith at a cost not to exceed $4,424. I don't know if you've seen the condition of that fence down there. It's long overdue, overgrown with brush, and it's really took a beating. I think if we clean it up and put a new fence, we might be able to park another couple of cars on the fence that are balanced with it. So that's a motion as well.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's okay.
And finally, Mr. Mayor, I'm requesting approval to hire Residential Fences Corp. to install a new 6-foot-high green chain link fence at Belzac Park at a cost not to exceed $5,710. Again, that's a fence and a park almost that, I wouldn't say ignored, but certainly kind of an eyesore and really needs to be addressed. So that's a motion as well.
That's
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's okay.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I have for tonight.
I have a question, Joe. Can we take some of that scrap and if there's any scrap left over to put a fence up on Patchogue Lake with Danny?
We're in negotiations with the county
Okay.
right now, but they have work they have to finish there.
Oh, okay.
And so it's one of those, a lot of phone calls back and forth. So we did get a price on the fence.
All right.
But before we spend village's money doing the fence, we want the county to do what they did.
Trustee Green.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and welcome back once again. Hopefully you'll continue with your rehab, won't be so painful, and you'll be up and around again. A couple of things, I just wanted to congratulate the Chamber. Last week we had a wonderful celebration of the 90th anniversary of the Chamber of Commerce down at Lombardi's. Trustee Ferb and the Mayor were in attendance, and Attorney Egan. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good recognition of their efforts and what they bring to the community, so I just wanted to wish them congratulations again. And at the last meeting, there was a proposal made by the Business Promotion Committee of the Chamber to host a fall festival on Main Street. And it was, they were looking to host it on October 26th. And I guess I'd like to invite Lori Belmonte up at this time from the Business Promotion Committee and have her share with us what she'd like to do and what the purpose of the festival would be.
Good evening, everybody. As I presented at the last village board meeting, which I emailed Trustee Crean and Trustee Hilton, we would like to do a fall festival on the Saturday before Halloween, the 26th, from noon to 5. So I would need the streets closed from 11 to 6 for setup and cleanup. Maybe have a hayride, parade with kids in costumes, chili contest, antique farm equipment on display, things of that nature to bring people to Main Street and hopefully showcase some of the businesses there.
Well, would you have any vendors, or would it just be?
There would be very few vendors. We were thinking maybe, and actually I talked to a couple of the girls at the library. They would be willing to do a pumpkin painting contest that day. I might have a face painter. Not really much in vendors.
And the boundaries that you'd like to host this in, what was the?
From Maple to Havens.
Like how the YMCA would come and set up their wall, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, very kid friendly.
That's my question.
No liquor,
No beer garden.
no beer garden, no cow pens.
I think it's a great way. I mean, that many of the surrounding communities have fall festivals, and at that time of the season, things generally quiet down, not only on Main Street but also along Riverfront. And it might be a good opportunity to try and extend the season a little bit to promote some business. When is the, you know when the Liberata Festival is? Is that
It's the last Saturday of September,
it's the end of September, right?
so this would be a month later.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to, I guess, make a motion to, you know, pending the approval of our, you know, with the help of Trustee Hilton, I'd like to perhaps sit and finalize some of the details. But I'd like to at least reserve the date, and we have a little bit of time to work on this and try and hammer out some of the finer details. And I guess, you know, I'd definitely like to have Bill involved in this
Okay.
discussion.
Well, actually, at the last village board meeting, Trustee Hilton mentioned that Belport was in contact with Maria to do some sort of scarecrow contest between the two villages. And I thought maybe we could even tie that in to this festival.
Right, that'd be nice. Why don't we block out the date?
The pending approval of, as we go, to talk to sub PD to see whether, making sure they don't have other major conflicts that day in terms of manpower, which the little kids, that they just sent us a couple guys, it was not a big deal, so I don't suspect it'll be much of an issue.
Okay, so yeah, I'd make that motion, Mr. Mayor, and Laura, when Billy comes back, I'll make sure I get in touch with him, we'll set up a date,
Okay.
You know, maybe right after Easter, we'll sit down and try and hammer out some of the details so we can present it to the 5th and make sure there's no conflicts.
Okay, great,
Okay.
thank you.
So I'll make that full motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
And that's all I have for this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, fellow trustees, I had a couple of quick things. First, I want to thank Joe Keys and Joe Dean for installing the bench dedicated to Jeff Reese in front of Roast. It's good. Come on down, sit down. It's another nice little addition. Secondly, I want to invite the public on April 4th to the YMCA for the Celebrity Cook-Off, where you can get maybe Pontieri pasta, meatballs, and Germain salad. It's, oh, you're gonna do meatballs?
All right.
But there's a whole bunch of the politicians cooking. Costs $25 at the door. I'll be there.
What time is
What
it?
is it?
It's from 6 to 9.
What's the date?
Is it Thursday?
It's Thursday the 4th.
It's a great cause to help
Yes.
restore some programs for the Y. Yeah, it's something that'll be a lot of fun.
As for my real business, I talked to Robert Scalzo today. Anybody who's driven by Four Corners can see we're going vertical. They're just about finished with the concrete. I'm going to try to get a tour of, there's a parking lot underground there, a great big parking lot,
Ooh,
a monstrous parking lot. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sure you can. It's going to go up fast because it's apparently all prefabricated panels. So, you know, watch for it to go up. The sort of in-between news is the parking lot, the building in Havens, which is building 4, is going to start construction mid-April, April 9th, something like that. And we're going to lose the parking lot at the corner of Havens and Main. So we're going to be further crunched in parking for a while. There are a lot of construction people coming to town, presumably they're buying lunch here. Most of them are out of here by 5 o'clock. They're being encouraged to park a distance from the site to keep the pressure off. But that's really all I have.
Oh, boy, skipping over. Okay, good evening, Mr. Mayor, fellow trustees. Just going to give a quick recap tonight of what's going on with Patchogue Arts Council. There's a lot of good things that are happening. There's an exhibition up right now, if you haven't been in the Patchogue Arts Council gallery. It's called Lost Civilizations. And there's 3 artists who are showing. Have you seen the show yet, Tom? Were you there? Very nice. It's Robert Millenhausen, Tina Folks, and I lost my page with the last artist, but I'd encourage everybody to check it out, support the Patchogue Arts Council. This exhibit is up until April 20th. At the same time, on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at the Patchogue Arts Council Gallery in the evening, they do writing workshops with the Her Story group. I don't know if anybody's familiar with them. It's open to the public. They talk about their own stories and then they write about them. So it's a writing workshop. On Mondays, they do Bridges to Justice, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they do Memoirs of Motherhood. So again, it's open to the public, and I just think that I should let everybody know that there's some good things going on there. The big thing that the Patchogue Arts Council has coming up is the week of April 2nd through 7th is the South by South Shore Music and Arts Festival. You can go on to the website, which is southbysouthshore.org, and you can get the schedule. Basically, I'll just give you a little bit of a list of where they're going to be performing. It's going to be original music throughout the village, every night of that week. And you can print out a schedule, but there'll be music at 89 North, at Roast, at the Brick House, the Tap Room, Bobby Q. Plaza Cinema's getting in on the action, and they're going to be doing a movie about symphony, 3 superstars in Berlin, and it just goes on and on all week. All of these venues, every single night, will have music. It was written up in Newsday the other day. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah, it was in the Long Island Explorer section. They did like a full page. So it should bring a lot of people into town, and that's really what it's about, is bringing people into town for these events. And that's all I have for tonight.
Becky, give me Bill.
Yeah, take care of Bill. I'd just like to request approval to hold the date of Sunday, August 4th, for an event sponsored by Pulse Magazine. Final approval is pending until all plans for the event are approved and finalized.
This is the hamburger thing?
Yeah, I spoke with Nada at Pulse about a week and a half ago, and what they're planning is something called the Battle of the Burger. And it will be a
Battle of the Burger on the Bay.
Battle of the Burger on the Bay. And it'll be an event that, I guess a lot of restaurants from Long Island are going to come down and cook burgers and more burgers. And people will be, I think they're talking about like 1 to 6 or.
This is like a national competition, because the winner of this then goes to like Miami or something.
Yeah, it's a big thing. And Pulse Magazine, they're a Patchogue-based magazine, and I think it's a great idea. It'll be a lot of fun for a lot of people in the village, and I'm sure we'll get some pretty good hamburgers to eat. So Bill is actually handling a lot of that, and just request approval to hold the date of Sunday, August 4th.
Second. All in favor?
Fine.
Okay.
I'd like to also request approval for the Lucero of America Foundation to hold their annual cultural event on Sunday, August 11th from noon to 7 p.m. in the municipal lot adjacent to Bravo Supermarket. They do this every year.
Do it every year.
It's a wonderful event, and brings a lot of people into the area.
What's sort of neat about it, it's part of the Festival of St. James, which is the patron saint of the Latino communities. And at the same time that they're holding the 12 o'clock Mass here, the 12 o'clock Mass is being held in Wallacea, Ecuador. And then they take their statue, as the Italians used to do with the Saint Librata Festival. And then they take it over and they have this festival that they have. So it's a very traditional festival they have, and they've held it the last 3 or 4 years, and it's really went well.
So it's for a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Anything else from the board? Mr. Woody, any comments? Public to be heard.
John Bodiak, 8 Knoxon Street. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back.
Thank you.
And what would a meeting be without the Off-Key Tiki Bar as a subject? I've seen a copy of the packets that went out to the trustees, and in it there's extensive documentation about the legal cases regarding the Off-Key Tiki Bar. I just wanted to clarify something about that information. That doesn't include the stipulation that actually resulted. That looks like that was paperwork up to the point of the appeal.
A little confused as to what you were talking about exactly.
There was
that
nothing in
you
the
would have
trustee
gotten
packet.
right, because a lot of that would be attorney-client privilege, but I would be surprised that
In the one that I got, there's all sorts of legal paperwork. The one you gave me.
Absolutely not. I don't know where you got that from, but I didn't give it to you.
Sure.
Can I see it?
Here's the back of the cup.
That's not, I did not give this to you. I don't know where this came from. Your packet was 13 pages, I want to say. It was $2.75, I think.
All right, well, I'm sorry.
I don't know where you got this from, but it didn't come from me.
All right, I'm curious.
Didn't come from my office.
All right, thank you. We'll just leave that as a mystery for the moment then. There is a stipulation, Reg, that has been reached, correct?
There was a stipulation that was reached in open court, yes.
And there's no copy of that available yet?
Oh, sure there is. With the court, certainly, if you foil, it's a public document, the village clerk has a copy, or the county clerk has a copy of it. If you file a foil with the village clerk, she can get it to you, sure.
Okay.
It's in the form of a representation, so it's not really a written stipulation, it's actually a transcript before Justice Asher.
All right, and just my last question, I believe the tickets regarding the Okie Tiki Bar have been resolved in court?
They have.
And did they get any tickets?
They did.
They did?
Yep.
You know how many?
I'm waiting for a report from the village prosecutor as to the amount, but I believe it was one, and it was the noise ticket. The CO tickets had to be resolved, because as you know, the legal question regarding the COs has been resolved, because there was a question as to whether they actually had a valid CO or not pending during the stays.
Okay. So they got one noise ticket?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Public? Motion to adjourn? Second? Second. All in favor? So carried.
No.